come out for about 2.5 years and wondered if I'd ever play again. So when Giggs called me back in for the first time, that was a real honour. I was like me, like coming on for Gareth, like I was thinking, oh no.
This whole wall is down to Willa.
It's down to Willa.
And there's more you haven't put up.
Yeah.
Is there?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, there is. But
have you got more coming for us? So, welcome back to Live for Kitman podcast. This week's guest is the one and only Jonny Williams. We're going to go straight into his five-a-side team, like we do in every other episode. So there's your board, Jonny. There's your pen, your formation. Let's go for it.
In goal, I'm going to go with Julian Speroni.
Palace legend.
Yeah,
Love
that was hard one between him or Wayne Hennessy, but you know, I had to let one person down. I couldn't have the whole team in Wales. So. My defender is Ben Davis.
Welsh legend.
Yes.
Tottenham, is that right?
Yeah. Midfield, I'm going to go with Ramsey or Rambo.
He's going with nicknames.
Also in midfield.
This one's high. This one's high.
This one's a little bit higher, yeah.
Like it.
Go with Wolf Zaha.
Louis' brother. I'm joking.
And save the best till
Should we
last.
guess? You're going to guess?
It's gonna
Jenny,
be
you're going to guess? What's it going to be? Jeffy? McCurdy? Torrey Simpson? Josh Davidson?
Gaz. Gareth Bale.
Probably arguably British's best.
Oh, he's gone captain as well.
I had to.
I love that. What a team.
What a team that was. Like, as a five-a-side team, like, you've got Zaha, unbelievable skill.
Mm-hmm.
Ramsey, technically unbelievable. Obviously, Bale speaks for itself. And then
Davis solid at the back. Speroni, unbelievable.
Unbelievable five-a-side.
What team? Bale, most expensive player in the world.
Yeah, can't really argue with that, to be honest.
How good is he?
It's easy for me to say, but he honestly unbelievable footballer. Ever since I stepped into the Wales squad, he stood out massively from the rest, not just as a player, but as a person off the pitch. The way he led by example, probably the best professional.
Something we've spoken about before is we find that the people that are at the top of the game, or have been at the top of the game, are really, really good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's not often we come across someone who's played at the top level and you think, oh, come on, mate. Like, I always find this is the case. Like, you can look at Charlie, yourself, obviously Gareth Bale.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at people like Matt Taylor, who was here before, top guy, played at the top level, and it's something that we've spoken about before in previous pods. And so you saying that about Gareth Bale, it just kind of cements it, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, he literally got it all, to be fair. Unbelievable bloke and unbelievable footballer.
Rambo similar?
Rambo the same, lovely player, lovely guy. What he's achieved speaks for itself, really. And now he's captain of Wales again, so he'll look forward to taking that on, the responsibility, and I'm sure he'll do great.
Perfect. Gaffer for your team?
Gaffer.
I know you were struggling with this.
I was caught between two. Chris Coleman, for what he did for Wales and that team in 2016 was unbelievable, and coming in at a tough time.
Yeah.
After Gary Speed, a tough role to take at that time.
Done well in that tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, unbelievable. And the other one was Ryan Giggs, just because Giggs is obviously a Premier League legend, and it was a bit surreal playing under someone that achieved so much in the game, and he was my gaffer. And to be fair, brought me back into the international fold. I'd come out for about 2.5 years and wondered if I'd ever play again. So when Giggs called me back in for the first time, that was a real honour. I probably doubled my cap tally off the back of that. So I've got to choose one.
Go on then. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna have to go with Chris Coleman.
Yeah.
Just because what he did and took Wales to a European semi-final. So,
Which is crazy.
That's
it's
an unbelievable
achievement. Okay, one last bit. The kit that your team would play in.
The Welsh home kit in 2018 had like a little button collar, which I wasn't usually a massive fan of, but the sleeves were the end of the sleeves were white and the neck was white, and I really liked. I thought it was a nice kit.
It was quite minimalist, wasn't it? There was no like extra patterns.
No.
There was no. It was just white trim, red body.
Quite simple.
Really nice.
Yeah,
But smart.
Yeah, really nice. Really
all their
slick.
kits were nice, to be fair. Better than the ones we had in the youth. They had like Champion and Umbro and Kappa. So when we got the Adidas deal, I think
That's super tight.
that's when we started doing a bit better. So it was a bit in sync.
Decent. Right, well, unbelievable team. Incredible team. Does it rival Charlie's?
I don't know, but I
We
was
asked this
I was
every
thinking
time.
then while I was looking at it, I'd love to see that team come up against Charlie's in a
Imagine
five-a-side.
that. He had Van Dijk at the back, Mane up front, Tadic. Oh, that's Croucher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that team play that team.
Yeah, it would be a good game.
It would be a good
Yeah,
game. It would be a very
Yeah,
good
but-
game.
Redknapp in one dugout and Coleman in the other.
Oh, it would be a good watch. I'd enjoy watching that team for sure.
Red v Blue as well, because he chose blue kit.
There was Wan-Bissaka was a hard one.
Was
Yeah,
it?
was there
Just-
anyone
was there
else
others?
that you
Ben
found-
Davies is one of my best mates in football, but he's played over 300 games for Tottenham, and I think he's massively underrated. Personally, I think he's a top player and another top guy.
Yeah.
But Wan-Bissaka in a five-a-side game, I
Yeah.
don't think many people are going to get around him. To be fair.
The pace.
Anyone else?
Joe Allen, unbelievable footballer.
Yeah.
Played with so many worldies.
Johan Kabay as well was top under
Absolute
Alan
baller.
Pardew.
Yeah.
And one that probably goes under the radar, Barry Bannon,
Oh, okay.
top footballer.
Is it Sheffield Wednesday?
Yeah, and should have played a lot higher in his career. Whenever I watch his games, he's the best player on the pitch. And when I was at Palace, he was playing under Tony Pulis. He wasn't his really type of player, so didn't really get his fair chance in the Prem.
Is he a couple
but
of years older than you?
Yeah,
A couple of years.
but as far as a footballer goes, he's an unbelievable footballer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, what
Right.
a team.
Anyway, so obviously a couple of weeks ago you announced your retirement from Wales. Let's take it back right to the start of Wales. Where were you when you first got called up? Like, do you remember your first call up?
Like,
Yes, I would have been at my mum and dad's.
Yeah.
Bit of an emotional day, to be honest. I was only 17 at the time. Gary Speed calling me up into the senior squad.
it's mad, innit?
Unbelievable feeling. I remember having a meeting before I met up to the squad, I went and met, because Stuart Pearce wanted to meet us to make sure that, I was eligible to play for England as well. So he wanted to make sure once, if I did get the opportunity to play in that international week, that I'd have no regrets and that my team was Wales and that I wanted to play for Wales. And he come to the Crystal Palace training ground and the meeting was about 2 minutes long. It wasn't very long. Just asking and making sure I didn't want to play for England, and my mind was already made and
Yeah.
I was fully on board with playing for Wales. So
It's incredible.
I think he met Wilf and Nathaniel Klein at the same time, because I think Wilf could play for Ivory Coast as well, and I think he was having meetings with a couple of us
Yeah,
at the
of
time.
course.
So
Do you remember your first game for Wales?
yes, I do. It was senior level.
Yeah, senior level.
Yes, it was against Scotland, so it was in a derby.
Yeah.
It was Hampden Park. It was snowing.
What a game.
I had no intention of touching the pitch. I was just happy to be in the squad. And Gareth Bale, believe it or not, he was ill with a stomach bug, and we were 1-0 down at half time against Scotland. And Chris Coleman told the fitness coach to get me warm at half time. I was like, not me. Like coming on for Gareth, I was thinking, oh no, this.
How old would you have been then?
I was 19.
You were 19.
So I'd been in the squads for a couple of
Yeah.
years, but been in the stands, not really been involved, and I was playing at Palace at the time, so my chance was getting closer,
Yeah, of
But
course.
never did I think I was going to come on for Bale at half time, and we ended up winning 2-1, and I always get a bit of banter to the day that I come on for Bale, and you know we won 2-1.
Was that a friendly then or qualifier?
That was a World Cup qualifier away at Scotland, and yeah, I just remember just being myself, just having no fear at that age, getting on the ball, driving forward, and had one of my best games probably for Wales on my debut. Hal Robson-Kanu scored a header, Ramsey scored a late penalty, and then I think he got sent off in the same game, but yeah, I'll never forget that.
Hal Robson-Kanu was there for a bit on loan from Reading when he was younger. Yeah, played a few games.
Scored some big goals for us. Yeah.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, looking ahead to major tournaments then, Euro 2016, Euro 2020, obviously that was in 21. What's it like going to a major international tournament with your country? It must be incredible. Like.
Yeah, I think well, it's the peak, it's the pinnacle of any footballer's career, really, going to a major tournament. Still have to pinch myself at times, you know, when I go home and see the mementos, and I've been to 3 major tournaments, you know.
Yeah.
To go to one was special. And then you realise how long it took Wales to get to a major tournament. It really was a special time, and finding out you're in the squad.
Did you think you were going to be in the squad for the 2016 one, or were you not sure?
Yeah, I was hoping to be in that one.
Where were you at the time then?
I just finished a loan at MK Dons.
Yeah.
So I played a bit, but I had ongoing shoulder problem. I think it's the start of my shoulder problem, but that got nipped in the bud the following season. I had to get operated, but yeah, I'd finished since the MK Dons. I wanted to make sure I was playing that season to give myself a good chance of being in the squad. But I had been playing a lot in the qualifiers, a big part of that. So I was hopeful for the 2016 one, but.
So Matt, who's filming and recording the audio, is very conscious that Johnny's playing with a pen.
Sorry.
So he's giving me the pen. Brilliant. And then, so going back into it, 21.
Got something else to play with.
What else? What do you want?
Do you want a magnet?
Do you want a magnet?
Have one of them.
Have a magnet.
Got like a stress ball.
2021. So obviously we've been through COVID, and that's like football's been crazy. Like should have been 2020, was cancelled, delayed, postponed, whatever we want to say. Moved to the next year. We've gone through all the time with no fans, and then you've been called up again to go to the Euros.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that one I didn't play as much the season leading up to it. I signed for Cardiff. I left Charlton in the January window and went to Cardiff with Mick McCarthy. Didn't play as much as I would have liked. Cardiff went on an unbelievable run. Yeah. Where they won 8 or 9 games on the spin and nearly made the playoffs. Yeah. So I was limited to like cameo roles off the bench, and wasn't as confident of being in the squad. But when I found out I was, it was again an unbelievable achievement and a really fun trip actually, because we managed to get out of the group in that one. Bit strange it being in Azerbaijan and then in Rome. Yeah. And then travelled down
because that was the one that was all over.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yeah, I forgot.
Then we played Italy in the last group game, wasn't it?
Played Italy, who obviously ended up winning.
Yeah.
Managed to get one of their shirts.
Which ended up?
I got Insignias. Had a bit of a weird, not obsession, but I used to play FIFA a lot as a kid, Ultimate Team, and he was always like an unbelievable in FIFA, and I just wanted his shirt, and he's so small and like agile.
And FIFA, I love.
Him and Mertens, people that play FIFA will know that they were unbelievable in the game, and they were always in my team because they were small, agile, and just unbelievable in it. And I wanted both their shirts at some point, and I managed to get them both. So
that's unbelievable.
Because Johnny loves collecting shirts.
Some of them. I'm small, but Mertens' shirt was really, really small.
Tiny, was it?
Yeah.
Did you put it on?
I did. Yeah, felt ripped.
Felt like you'd been in the gym.
Yeah, so you done well in both tournaments, really, didn't you? Going back to the first one, did you think personally, and did you think you'd get that far, or did it just, as it unfolded, getting that far must have been unbelievable?
Yeah, I think the one thing that was so special about that year is that we had no expectation.
Yeah.
we knew we had a couple of world-class players.
Yeah.
And some very, very good players.
Sort of in their peaks as well at that point.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, and everyone was fit, and we had a fully fit squad.
Yeah.
So we were looking at the group with England. We thought obviously England were going to do well, and we knew the first game against Slovakia was going to be potentially the one where whoever wins that.
Is that the one where did Bale score a free kick?
Bale scored a free kick, yeah.
I remember
after
that.
about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I should have had a penalty. To this day, I still should have had a penalty.
I remember watching these games.
Yes, I got on the end of a Skirtle elbow to the head, and there was literally at that time there was officials behind the goal.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And literally, he was literally in front of me, and he didn't even flinch. And I was just like, and I saw the replay on the big screen.
Yeah.
There was this big screen in the middle of the pitch up high, and the whole crowd went ooh, and I was like, when I saw it back, I was like, how is that not a penalty? But
who else was in that group?
With VAR, it would have been.
We won anyway. Howe ended up coming on and scoring the winner, which was an unbelievable start to the campaign. But I don't think, even after we won our first game, I don't think we ever thought we'd get to the semi-final. And I think that's what's made it so special. I think it was just, fans kind of just stayed out there. I think
Wales fans travel really well as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Everywhere they go, they always take so many fans.
It was very surreal after we'd win a game or we'd win the last 16 game, and you'd see the scenes back home in Wales and Cardiff.
Yeah.
And we kept seeing them on our phones at dinner times and lunch times because we was in Dinard, so it was a bit out of the way in France. We weren't really anywhere too busy. We were just out by the seaside. It was really nice, a nice hotel, and we'd fly to the games, fly back, and the hotel staff would all celebrate with us and become.
So it was a good country to have it in that Euros.
Yeah.
I went over to watch a game, and it was just it was really good. I remember going.
But there were so many. The team was so together.
Yeah.
It was honestly 23 brothers, just willing each other on every game, and when you got that, you got a chance of achieving something special. And
it's what it takes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to have that togetherness in a group,
especially in a tournament where it's so short.
I think that was what also helped. We kind of knew the starting 11 was the starting 11, and whenever you were called upon as a sub, or I managed to start the first game. I remember rooming with Danny Ward, the keeper.
Yeah.
Wayne Hennessy, believe it or not, had a back problem the day before the first game of the Euros.
Right.
And Danny got told the day before he was going to be starting
Oh, wow.
in the Euros, and we were both going to bed that night. I was starting in a false 9 position with Baron Ramsey's 210. So I was, I was.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know if there was that much sleep that night in our room because we'd come through as 14, 15-year-olds at Wales, and then we were rooming together before the first game.
That's class.
In the Euros, it was just.
It's class. Was that your choice to room with him, or was that they had cleverly put certain people together?
No, we were roomies.
Right.
We'd been roomies for a while, so we were comfortable. And it was one of the best days of my life, that game, playing in the first win of the Euros and starting and putting in a good performance. It was special, and the fans were unbelievable in France, honestly.
Can imagine.
And then obviously recently you had the World Cup.
Obviously you were here by then.
Yeah.
So we saw you when you got called up.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were all buzzing. Everyone here was buzzing for you.
Yeah.
We were all buzzing.
Incredible achievement.
How was that in Qatar?
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about Qatar is that it was in quite a small country.
Yeah.
The vicinity was quite small, so everyone you could see different teams' buses, Croatia's hotel. You could see from our hotel, and it was a proper tournament,
I've
old
seen
school
people
tournament.
go into games, but go into one game and then there's 45 minutes between games.
Yeah, there was people trying to get to as many games.
So they were going to 4 games a day.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Because they could just jump from game to game, ground to ground.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. That's how you won a tournament, surely.
That is class.
Yeah, and then I can only imagine later on in December, only a few teams being left, and everyone's gone home, and Messi's still there.
Yeah.
And I can only think when he woke up with that trophy, it was an unbelievable ending for him and football fans. I think across the world, it was, and to have gone to the World Cup that Messi won at is quite a special feeling because I'm a big Messi fan. But I'd rather have Wales won, but if Wales didn't, Messi was next. So
Was there any moment in your international career that sticks out to you as like a favourite moment, or have you got a couple?
It's hard, yeah, it's hard. Obviously, my debut, coming on for Bale, and the pressures of that in itself.
Yeah.
On my debut as a 19-year-old in a derby, that's quite special, and scoring my first goal in a win out in Bulgaria with 5 minutes to go. Again, playing as a false nine.
That was under Ryan Giggs, wasn't it?
Yeah, under Giggs. Yeah, that was believe it or not, that was his last game in charge.
Yeah.
So that was quite special as well. Scoring against Poland, also.
Is that the last goal you scored for us?
That was my last game, in fact. So that was my last ever appearance. Scoring away in Poland. I think I was the only Welsh player ever to score in Poland, or some weird stat like that. So yeah, it was quite nice. But yeah, I think they're obviously special. But for me, the Euro 2016 was a bit like a dream.
Yeah.
For a country the size of Wales, and being part of that special group, getting to the semi-final.
Actually got further than England as well in that.
Yeah.
That's where we lost against Iceland, wasn't it? I think.
Is that the one?
Was it 2000? Yeah, I think that's when we lost against Iceland.
Yeah. And you beat us in the last minute. Sturridge and Vardy scored, I think.
Yeah.
So that was the one proper downer of the trip, losing to England in the last minute. But in a way, it was like a reset button.
Yeah.
And we had a long meeting. Chris Coleman had a long meeting afterwards with the boys, and we just didn't perform. And was really disappointed by the way, I think we let the occasion get to us as a team, and we didn't really show up, and it was a bit of a scrappy game in the end. Could have gone either way. But I remember the reaction against Russia. We won 3-0 and just played them off the park. It was, and then we literally just rode the wave from there, beating Northern Ireland and Belgium.
Remember that Hal Robson-Kanu goal against Belgium?
Incredible.
So one of those moments you just remember, don't you, from a tournament? That sticks out to me.
Yeah, incredible goal. And then the one thing that was disappointing was that we had Ramsey and Ben Davies suspended for the semi-final.
Yeah.
And had we have had them, because they were so influential in that run,
could it have been?
It could have, maybe. It was I always think, if you got your full fit squad, you've got no regrets, and like we had that at the World Cup, so it wasn't our time, and we didn't really perform on the day, but at least we had our full fit best squad available to give it our best go at qualifying out the group, and it didn't work, and got no regrets really, because we had our best team out there.
Well, you've had some unbelievable experiences anyway.
So it's the end of the chapter for international, but your club career is still going strong. Here, as we speak. I'm just going to run through the clubs, and I'm going to read them because it's been quite a few. So, started at Palace, Ipswich, Forest, MK Dons, Ipswich again, Sunderland, Charlton, Cardiff. Matt's just gone mad because he's a Charlton fan. Cardiff, and now Swindon. You've played more games at Swindon than you have at any other club in your career, which I was absolutely baffled to find out. That you've played. Because you played so many, you've played 75 in 2 seasons?
Yes.
Which is
it's a great number.
That's an incredible number.
Without the season
I want to take you back to Palace. What was it like at Palace? Like coming through as a kid and then breaking into the first team? That must have been incredible when you make your debut for Palace, or you play in the Premier League. So how was that?
Spent half my life there. It was I was fortunate enough to get selected as an 8-year-old. Playing for Tunbridge Angels in a team called Roselands in Tunbridge at the time, at 8 years old, and the manager of the Tunbridge Angels team took me to a community centre that was Crystal Palace looked after in Sevenoaks, and they took the best ones from there into the under-8s at Palace, and I just remember signing 1-year contracts from there up until I was under 14s, I think. And you'd always get to the end of the season and you sit down with your mum and dad and they'd tell you whether you got another year or not, and whether you're still in the academy. And fortunate enough, I always got good news, and a lot of that was probably down to my mum and dad. The hours they put in to take me to training as an 8-year-old.
And they always come and watch you now, don't they?
Yeah, Dad.
We've met them quite a few times.
Mum and Dad comes all the time. Dad comes to every Wales game.
And it shows, by the way. Great people.
They and had they have not been willing enough to, my mum quit her job when I was in the academy to kind of have the out. It was like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
It's like in the academy, so it was still a hour's drive there, an hour's drive back, and going to school tired. And it was an unreal journey. And then I got my scholarship. Did the first year. Then Dean Austin took me into the reserve team, and that was a real good transition for me from youth football to men's football, because you're playing against reserve, you're playing against Tottenham's reserve, so against David Bentley or Sandro, or you're playing against men. And it allowed me to transition from playing youth team to men's. And then when Dougie Freedman called me into the senior team, I found that transition a lot easier.
Of course. Do you think then, just looking at pros and cons of things, like what they have now with the 23s and Premier League 2 and all the rest of it, do you think that maybe the reserve model, especially for yourself, was better than what it might have been now, because you got to play against, men and players? And
I'd personally always, because it worked for me, and I think I saw it work for a number of others. I think you're closer to the first team, and I think it's more respected because you're playing against men in reserve football, so it's easier to judge whether that person's ready to make the step up to first team, because you're playing against first team players that just aren't in favour or come back from injury. Or I really like the reserve football. It definitely helped my career and getting myself into the first team. But yeah, that journey it was surreal, really. You played with so many kids throughout the academy, and then when you look back, you're the lucky one that was through hard work and dedication.
Was there others from your age group that made it with you?
There was a couple. Alex Winter, who played professionally. He's had some bad injuries, but another lovely kid. I still keep in contact with him now. And Carl Da Silva, they made it professionally. Ryan Innes was the age below, who's at Charlton now. And Wilf was the age above me, and he also came through
from
together. But he was I think he was a 1992, so he was the year above. But you don't ever think, when you're 10, 11, 12, you don't ever think you're ever going to make it into the youth team, let alone the first team. So even the youth team were like heroes to you coming through. And then
because you're always looking at those ones that are slightly older that are making it through. And
we'd always go to play on a Saturday morning, and then we get free tickets to go to Selhurst in the afternoon, especially if we played the game at home. And
it's a great stadium, by the way.
You don't ever think you're going to make it professionally at that age. Well, I didn't anyway. I kind of just took it as what it was, worked hard in training and played my best in games, and thankfully got the opportunities at Palace. And
how old were you then when you first made your debut?
I was 17.
17,
yeah.
Were they in the Championship then?
In the Championship, yeah. Remember my first league start was against Brighton.
Big
believe
game.
It or not, in a massive derby. I was well aware of what it meant to the club and the fans.
Was that home or away?
That was away at the Amex. It was actually their first ever loss in their new stadium.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So you didn't have to go to Withdean then? The place was
I didn't, no. I've been there, I've seen a game there.
So was that the year before the promotion year where you won at Wembley? Or was that your debut?
Yes.
So that was the year before, and then obviously you had the year after where you played a good number of games and obviously won at Wembley.
Yeah, that was a special year.
Yeah.
So I had the season before where I played. Unfortunately, I broke my leg that year for the Wales under-21s team. That set me back a bit, but managed to get back on my feet, finish that season, my first season professionally, and then had that really special year in the Championship where we got promoted.
Oh yeah, I've watched the documentary that Crystal Palace put out, and it looked unbelievable that year. When
been on a few documentaries as well.
Yeah, I remember when Willow signed, he come in and we were like, "Where's the camera?
Like,
where's the camera?"
Is this our first one?
This is it. This is the first one.
Yeah, okay,
Obviously, it was Palace,
Sunderland, first and last,
and the Wales.
First and last.
So, yeah, that must have been incredible winning at Wembley at such a young age as well.
Yeah, that was really special. Again, another amazing group of people. A lot of experience. A lot of it was probably just me and Wilf as youngsters playing in a really experienced side. The know-how of how to win and we obviously had Wilf and Balassi on the wings.
Yeah,
Balassi.
unbelievable. Those two.
Yeah, they were on fire that year, and obviously Glenn Murray.
Yeah,
He scored 31 goals that year, and when you're surrounded with players like that, it makes my job a lot easier. So I loved playing in that team.
and then did you make your Premier League debut the next year? When you
Premier League debut, start of the 2013-14 season.
Yeah.
Again, another achievement that I never thought I'd make, and playing in the Premier League is every kid's dream. So I only got to play 13 or 14 times in the Premiership due to different managers, selections, injuries. But that will never be taken away from me that I got to play in the Premiership. So I'm very grateful to be given that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So, moving forward quite a way, obviously the day you signed there, I think we've told this story on a previous pod.
Yeah.
But you've walked in, so Willow signed, he's come in, he's with his partner, he's come in the kit room to meet us, and he stood over where the camera is, to be fair, and he's looking to his left, and he sees his own shirt on the wall.
Yeah.
Signed by himself, and he's stood there giving this really quizzical look, and then he's like, "Is that my shirt?" And we were like, "Yeah," and then we explained like that it comes from
gave
the
me two
Kitman,
that day,
Charlton, and did we?
You gave me two
Zeki
Swindon shirts.
and
Anthony Grant.
that's it. Because I remember Zeki.
Yeah.
I remember Zeki getting Zeki's and bringing it down.
Yeah,
So I was just as buzzing.
yeah.
You gave me two.
and the Kitman wanted Caddis, so we gave
Did
him
he?
Caddis. Yeah, yeah. And then
Well, my best
you
mates.
did that.
My best mate was a
Swindon fan.
huge Swindon fan. He's always got a bit of banter in our friendship group. They all support like Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and he supports Swindon.
What are the chances
Good
of
on
your
him.
best friends being
Yeah,
Swindon?
yeah. And I would have probably worn some Swindon kit when I was a kid at some point that he would have given us.
That sounds like my friendship group, to be fair.
Yeah, you lot all just wear
Yeah.
weird kits. You're
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that shirt, the grey one from Charlton.
I remember writing your names out, but I never,
Yeah, obviously, and then you walk
Never
in.
knew.
Like, oh my god.
what you were going to be like.
Yeah, we're all right.
Yeah, top,
We're all
top drawer.
right. We're all right. If you like behind us, so we've also got some bits and pieces. So we've got an Ipswich shirt there because obviously you play from Ipswich, but we have Dan James's Wales shirt, Jeffrey Schlupp's Crystal Palace shirt. We've got a Mounier shirt from the Belgium national team,
And then obviously the one that we had, the
and
Charlton.
the Charlton one.
Yeah, basically Willow sorted this whole wall out for us. This whole wall is down to Willow.
It's down to Willow.
And there's more you haven't put up.
Yeah.
Is there?
No, I'm joking.
But
Have you got more coming for us?
yeah, I remember the Dan James one when you went away on. It must have been one of the first times you went away when you were here. We just said, "Oh, would you be able to get us a Wales shirt when you go away?" I mean, we would have been happy with yours, but then obviously you brought the Dan James one back, so we were buzzing with that one. And then earlier in the season, we played Crystal Palace in the Papa John's, and you got their kitman to bring that one up, the Jeffrey Slip one, so that was decent as well. And then obviously the Mounier one was we were just
That was a weird one.
Yeah,
That
I
was just
think
a
we
nice
were
surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I think
just
you were just
turned up
showing
with
us
a
through
Mounier.
like
That
all
was
the
just-
shirts you had.
On
Yeah,
your
just-
phone, weren't you? You were showing us all the pictures.
Yeah, and then you were like, "Oh, I've got
That's-
this Thomas
I
Mounier."
do like Mounier, but
Yeah. And you were like,
Yeah.
do you guys want it? And we were like, yeah.
Can do.
Cool.
no, you wanted it.
Yeah, we
Oh, we wanted
Oh, you wanted it.
Oh, we wanted it on the wall.
We're
It was a
buzzing
great
with
shirt. Yeah. So, obviously, we're here now. Last season. So last season, obviously, 4 games from the end of the season, we have to win all of them to get in the playoffs. And we went for it, and we won all 4. We then win the first leg here, and we then go to Port Vale, and what a crazy night that was. I mean, I think there's a picture somewhere of me and you after the game, or the next morning. Yeah, the next morning we were here, weren't we? We had come in for some dinner and for a meeting and stuff.
Yes.
And there's just a picture of me and you looking thoroughly miserable. I've got it on my
Yeah.
phone somewhere. I'll send it to Matt and he can edit it in.
I do remember that. Yeah.
But it was, how was that night? Like, talk us through it from a player's point of view.
One of the most frustrating and disappointing endings to a season. Yeah, it was so disappointing. I think after the first leg, and what we'd done to get ourselves into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We didn't feel like we were ever going to lose.
Yeah.
We had to win all 4, and we did, against some tough opposition. But we had some real belief in the squad that would get promoted. Obviously going 2-1 up at home, it was a fantastic result. Probably should have been 2-0 or 3-0, I think, had we not conceded so late. I don't know what you think, but
No, I agree.
conceding that, it was a rubbish goal. It was a scruffy tap in at the back post, and it changes the outlook of the game. They're obviously going back thinking if they can win, they take us to extra time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it could have gone so differently. But I guess games are won on them small moments.
Yeah.
And that was a big win for them, getting that goal here and taking that back to their place. But yeah, no, it was a real shame. It was such a good group of people that had been put together at the start of the season. We were bare bones, really.
Yeah.
And
well, obviously, after the takeover, we had 6 or 7 players.
it was like
And then everyone was in
Yeah.
within a
And then we
week,
go
like-
outside and see people like you
Like
coming in,
yourself
and we're
walking
like,
in the
here
door
we
and
go.
that.
Then.
Yeah. What was put together that season was incredible, really.
Yeah.
And we just fell short. I still believe we were probably in the top 3 teams in the division.
I agree.
But we conceded a lot of sloppy goals and didn't beat the teams that we should have beat, which was frustrating. But that night was really tough, very emotional. Dressing room afterwards,
Yeah.
not just because of the result, but what happened on the pitch afterwards with their fans and the nasty side of football, really, that no one likes to see.
You worked so hard all season, it wasn't a nice way for it to just come sort of crashing down, was it?
No, and it was tough to take against them. I didn't think they were that nice, to be fair.
No,
We had a good, honest group, and they weren't.
Yeah.
You get that in football sometimes. You get teams that.
Yeah,
are nasty.
for me, I feel like there's a way to win and a way to lose.
Mm.
And I feel like we were honourable and justified in the way we lost, but potentially we didn't receive that from the other side. Do you know what I mean? It was a tough night.
Especially, it was in our hands as well with the penalties as well. Wardy saved 2, and you're thinking,
as soon as he
he's done
saved those
enough.
2, you're thinking, this is it, we've done enough here. We're going Wembley.
yeah,
But for me, there was 2 things in that game. If we had held out the first 20 minutes, because they were
Hostile
going for
crowd.
it, they were
Yeah.
absolutely going for it. And if they hadn't scored in the first 20 minutes, I feel like the fans would have turned slightly. I feel like the players would have started to get frustrated, and we could have grown into the game. But they managed to nick their goal. Then I feel like we should have had a Stonewall penalty
yeah, agree.
at the far end. Like, it's a clear handball,
You
and
need
if we get
moments
that
in that.
penalty, it's a different game, and it's all if buts and maybes.
Yeah.
That's
Let's,
where you need brave officials
Yeah.
in big games, and you can't always rely on them. And we still have the
No,
full.
of course, yeah, we still.
But games are won and lost in their moments. So
Exactly that.
And you had your promotion at Wembley in the Championship. You had it at Cholton.
I know
In
it's
League
my
Two,
last one.
And I remember you saying, we're going to get it in League Two and tick all 3 off.
Tick all 3 off.
Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be.
I was yet to lose in the playoffs, and that was my first one. And I
Yeah.
was desperate to get the full set.
And we were. Since we've been in the job, we had a mid-table finish, a promotion as champions, a relegation, and then it was a playoff season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had everything.
up and down.
And the only thing we hadn't done was been to Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, mate.
we were like, oh my God, we're going to Wembley.
Yeah.
When he saves the second penalty, we were like, oh my God, we're going to Wembley. And then it didn't happen, but I'm sure it will eventually.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Hopefully before this year's out.
Yeah, we've still got a chance.
Do you know what I mean?
Still a chance. There's always a chance.
Right, so anyway, we were talking about the kits that we've got in here. I know earlier you mentioned that you've got Insignes and Mertens, and we know personally a couple more that you've got. But what's the best shirt that you've ever been given or swapped with?
The ones I've swapped with are different to the ones I got given because I've managed to get Bale's. Bale actually gave me his Real Madrid shirt on my 21st birthday, which was a nice surprise.
What a birthday present.
Yeah.
His birthday present's
I remember he invited me
That's
into his
pretty
room
incredible, isn't it?
in the
Did he really?
hotel at St David's in Cardiff, and I was like, okay, I wasn't sure
What's
what,
going
and he
on?
whipped out a Real Madrid happy 21st birthday. I spent all my birthdays away of Wales, so my 18th actually, believe it or not, it was my first trip with Gary Speed, and they made me sing Happy Birthday to myself on a chair, and in English and Welsh. Yeah.
Yeah, Welsh as well.
Yeah, I was up there. I was on this chair for a while,
For a
so they
while.
made me work hard. They all chipped together and got me an iPad for my 18th birthday, which you don't really see, but they made me work hard for it. I was on this chair for ages. It felt like, you know, what it's like, Jonny. You're up there. It felt like I was up there for 3 minutes. Like Craig Bellamy was sat there, Bale, Speed, Ramsey. I think Alan Shaw was there. I was like this kid, and they were like, "Now you got to speak about yourself for a minute and all your achievements."
That minute felt like an hour.
My achievements compared to like Bellamy's, Bale's, Ramsey's. I was just stood up there talking about my GCSEs.
You're sat.
Yeah, literally. I remember saying that. I think I got 4 A's, 5 B's, an A star, and remember debut for Palace, and that was about it.
That's class.
I've got 2 brothers.
Actually, is class.
Yeah, my shirts. Okay, Bale, Ramsey.
Yeah.
Ramsey got me a Juventus shirt when he was there, number 8, which was
Another unbelievable shirt.
special. They're all framed.
It excites me. Just
You sorted me out a Bernardo Silva shirt.
oh
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That was the one I was desperate for. I swapped with Diaz, but ended up giving that to one of the academy lads, and then you had Bernardo's shirt,
Yeah,
which
so
I was very
we
grateful
gave
for.
that
that was a good moment
so-
last year as well.
Yeah. Lewandowski's managed to get his shirt when I scored against Poland. I love Barcelona, so when he joined, it's extra special. But Lewandowski's Poland shirt. But the one for me is Modric's Croatia one. Yeah.
You've got some shirts.
It's a joke.
He's
We
he's
think we've
unbelievable.
got some shirts because we've got Kevin De Bruyne, and
That's unbelievable.
it is unbelievable, and Louis Barry's Barcelona and stuff like that. You've got Luka Modric,
yeah, I got that framed really quick. to be
Ballon
fair.
d'Or.
Yeah. That one was special. I remember, you know, I was at Charlton in League One at the time, and he started me against Croatia at home. And I remember him gigs getting me to the board, and I think that the 2 other midfielders, Joe Allen and one other, and we were kind of told who to mark. It was like Modric, Kovacic and Brozovic. And he was like, "Jonny, I want you to mark Modric." I was like, "Okay." I'll do my best. I'll do my best. No, I took it quite literally and just literally followed him around the whole game.
Hey, there's more people to follow around.
And yeah, he ended up getting his shirt, so that was special.
Would you say he's the hardest player you've come up against? Or
The hardest one on the day was probably Iron Robin,
Re-
just in terms of sharpness and speed,
Quick.
and he was probably about 34 at the time, but on that day,
Who was he playing for?
he was at Holland. We played him in
it
a
was the
friendly.
international, cool.
And Ibrahimovic on the day,
I mean,
I'd
these are
say,
names.
yeah.
When we
They-
put
they
this
was-
out, we're going to have to tag all these people so that they can see what I'm talking about. Kit that you've played in. What's your favourite kit like through your whole career? Like international club, whatever it might be.
Well, I really like that Wales
Yeah.
2018 kit as a kit to look at.
Yeah.
The 2016 one was quite a simple Adidas kit that Wales wore in the Euros, and that
White
was quite
trim again, wasn't it?
special. Yeah. Probably have to be one of them. I liked Palace's first one in 2011. It was Nike.
They've always had nice kits.
Yeah,
Palace, even the
Palace.
one that you got, so I quite like that one as well.
Yeah, so one of them, I think. Actually, they had an away shirt that looked like Brazil's that year,
That-
similar to ours last year.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yellow
Players
was
were
quite
always
nice as
yellow
well.
and Sky blue. type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any weird superstitions? Have you got any superstitions at all, or not really? Any?
Everyone loves
Apart
superstition.
from doing my beard, sometimes. Superstitions.
He's done his beard today.
Do I?
Have you done your
Do you
beard
know if
today?
I have any?
Looks like you've done your beard today.
Yeah, I had it done yesterday.
Yeah, nice.
They butchered it a bit, but
Looking good.
I'm happy
I
with
need
it.
tips, by the way. Who
Needed
did
a
it?
trim. Pardon?
Who did it?
A barber in Tunbridge Wells. I still get banter for people. Like I go to the barber, they're probably thinking, "Why is he going to the barber's?" But
I don't forget. when
I
we
can't-
see-
can't do this.
Well, remember,
Well, I was 10 minutes late for this. Everyone was going, it's all right, he's washing his hair.
classic.
I was just about to say, remember when we were at the hotel? I think it was one of the games last year.
This is a great story.
And Willow I think you were sharing with Ryan East, and we were walking past. You must have heard us, and you just opened the door, and you were just stood there shaving your head and
in your
beard.
pants, wet shaving your head.
Oh yeah.
I've done like half your head.
Oh, that reminds me. There is a superstition.
What?
I try and wet shave my head before games,
Oh, there you go.
and if I don't, I have scored when I
think
haven't
any
though. So
I'll tell you what. Until this year, you never wore studs.
Yeah.
Never. You were always in a mock.
yeah, no.
Boot wise, you were always in a mock.
I love wearing
And
masks.
obviously, you always Adidas before this year. Now you changed to Nike, haven't you?
Yeah, that's been a bit weird.
Yeah.
I've always worn
It
Adidas.
was really. It took us a while to adjust to seeing you in.
Yeah,
But I
whose
just-
are these?
Yeah. No, I still love Adidas, but at the moment I can't get used to any of the boots that are out.
Because you loved the Nemesis, didn't you?
Yeah, I wore them for years.
Yeah, they were your.
Years.
And do you wear molds because you find it comfier? Do you find molds
Yeah,
comfier?
much comfier.
Yeah.
I train in them most of the week.
I know quite a lot of people find molds comfier. That's why a lot of people now get them converted, don't they? So
Yeah.
I thought that was why.
Then you have the flat
Weird
sole
one.
blade, don't
Yeah.
you?
I just find it comfy. I feel like my touch and stuff is better in moulds. It's just me. But
There was a
yeah.
game this year, I can't remember where it was, but you were like, I'm going to have to wear studs.
That was horrible.
I can't remember where we were, but it was just, and you were in the warm-up. And you were
Oh,
like,
was
I'm
it
gonna
Walsall?
Was it Walsall?
Recently?
Oh, I can't remember,
Yeah,
but
I
you
think
were
it
like,
was.
I'm
Really
going to
boggy.
have to wear studs.
Barrow.
It was Barrett, that's
Barrow.
it.
Barrow,
Yeah, and you were really like,
The two times I worn studs.
I'm in an hour.
Barrow this season, Barrow last season. Oh, last season. And he got
Last
called off,
season, oh my
so...
God. That was so wet. Well, this season, when we got there, because
Yeah.
we get there ages before the players to set everything up, there was some guy with like a snow shovel
And there were dogs
moving water, and there was a dog running around with it.
Yeah. We were
There
like,
was
we
a
didn't,
dog
we,
on
didn't
the
think, we
pitch.
didn't think that game was going to be on, to be fair.
No, the
But yeah,
pitch looked.
you had to wear studs on that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, Barrow. Barrow.
Yeah, so
Unbelievable.
wet shave.
Wet shave your head.
And I do pray.
You do?
I do pray. I say the Lord's Prayer before every game. You know.
We noticed because like on your shin pads, because you have your own personalised ones,
Yeah.
you've obviously got the Welsh Dragon, and then I don't know if on these ones, but especially definitely on the previous ones, you had "In God We Trust"
Yes.
on the shin pads. So
Yeah.
you know, it's not something we've spoken about like before. And yeah, but are you quite religious and?
Yeah, I was brought up as a Christian
Right.
in a Christian family, so yeah, it's something I do before every game is say the Lord's Prayer. Gives me peace and you know,
Perfect.
yeah.
Gets you ready.
hmm
Right.
I think is it quiz time?
I think it might be quiz time. Right. We're 2-0 down. There's players 2.
Really?
Guests 2.
Yeah.
Stephen Jonah 0.
Shall
I
I
lost 7-0 to Chaz. He lost 8-1 to...
Yeah.
Jonah lost 8-1 to Sol and Fraser last time.
Who am I playing?
You're playing me.
Yeah, I'm quiz master.
I have not won a point yet.
No, I was hoping I was going to play Jonah.
Savage.
No, you got me. So, right, we need to win. All right, so don't take it personally. If I, have a.
I remember that, Willow. Right.
What do you? Are you
Right.
telling him answers?
Huh? What?
Because you moaned at me last week.
No, I've only a hoop. I've seen hoops. He gets sort of aggressive to the referee.
Yeah, you
Fourth official.
give you a yellow card in a minute.
Matt's
Right.
got his cards out.
So I've got 7 questions. Well, 6 questions and a bonus question, but we'll probably end up doing the bonus anyway, just for banter.
It's all for
Do you know these?
No, I've got no idea. He doesn't tell us.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, for
I'm
sure.
sure.
100%.
So we're
No, I'll
just
tell you one.
so right. We'll go with question 1. then.
how do we answer what we do?
Oh, so
No, I've seen what's happened in the past.
No, what's
yeah,
the rule?
It's just a free for all.
we'll just so
Here's a bit.
just shout your name. Don't put your hand up.
Don't put your hand up
Don't
like
put your
Jonah
hand
did
up like
last
me
time.
and not say a
He
name.
just
That's
sat
what
there
I
with
did
his
last
hand
week. That wasn't a good start. So yeah, just shout your name. First person to shout their name and give an answer.
Oh, here we go then.
Right. So question 1. So it's based on the 2 years that you've obviously been here, Willow, to make it fair, because it's Swindon related.
Because we've
Yeah.
both been here.
Right. This player has played for the following clubs, and this is in order. Who am I?
God.
Southend, Huddersfield.
Willow, Penny.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
That's good. That's good knowledge.
Oh, here we go.
That's
How
my
did
guy.
you get that
That's
from
my
that?
guy, Penny.
Is that in order?
Yeah, that's an order. That was
the only one he told me.
Because last time he did it in a weird order.
That was the only one he told me at training today.
You did?
Of course I didn't.
Well, no, he did though. Because
I promise you, I tried.
Okay.
I tried to ask him one, and he to be
He
fair,
won't
he said
have
no.
him,
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough. I don't believe you, but fair enough.
This is a similar question. So this player played for the following clubs in order again.
So the same question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Southend.
Bailey. So first club was Reading, Hungerford Town.
Oh, Hoops.
What?
Charlie Austin.
No.
Is that -1?
How is it not Charlie Austin?
After
He was at Reading as a kid and he played for Hungerford.
No. After Hungerford Town, it was Waterford. And then
Waterford?
Yeah. And then Swindon.
It's in Waterford in Ireland.
No, Waterford.
In Ireland?
Yeah, in Ireland. I thought you said in our league.
What's going on here?
I thought you said in our league. And
Okay.
then his fourth club was Swindon. I'm not gonna. I'll say the next one in a minute after Swindon. If you.
What? See,
Wait. Go again.
so he's not here now then?
He's not here now. Well, there you go. There's a clue. So Reading, Hungerford, Waterford, Swindon, and he's had one club since.
Who came from Waterford to here?
The moves in between were loan moves from Reading, if that helps.
What? So we sign him from Reading?
He signed last season. Started last season.
Oh, Hoops. AK.
Yeah.
AK.
Yes, AK.
When did he go to Ireland?
I don't know. I didn't know
He went on loan to Waterford.
Oh God, yeah. Did he go
Yeah.
on loan when he was here?
No, he went on loan from.
No.
No, he went on loan from Reading to Hungerford and Waterford. Now obviously he's at
I'm
Northampton.
frazzled.
So it's
Oh,
1-1.
I've won a point. I've won a point.
Question 4.
We're keeping count this.
Question 3,
we haven't
sorry.
done previously.
1-1. Question 3.
Stitch.
How many goals did we score last year? I got 3 options. Was it A, 68, B, 88, or C, 77?
I was going to say 86, but that's wrong.
The first one?
So it's 68, 88,
Hi,
and 77.
Hoops. The first one, 68.
No.
Go on. I'm out
77.
anyway, 'cause I got
Yeah.
wrong.
77.
That's how many points we got.
That wasn't
No.
the question.
It's the goals.
So we scored the same amount of goals as we did got points last season.
Well, I don't know.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
Anyway, it's 2-1
2-1.
Willow.
2-1 Willow.
Get in.
So, question 4. What 3 players appeared most for us last season in all comps? Bonus points for it in order and the amount of games.
In order.
Willow.
Go on then.
So the 3 players.
First one. Lewis Reed.
He's one of them, yeah.
If he gets one wrong, do I then get
Yeah.
to...
If you can get it in... Wait, but then he'll get it in order.
Why would it?
Because if I get the top 3...
Oh, it's,
No, it's
Second
fine.
one.
If he gets all 3 of them, then he gets the point. If he gets one wrong, then...
Second one, Ellis. Is he in there?
Reedy wasn't like the.
All right,
top one,
Ellis,
but- yeah.
Reedy,
This one's tough.
and me.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah?
Yeah.
45 games
Wow.
last season.
All right.
For you.
And
That's it, isn't it?
That's it. That's the 3.
That's the 3. It's 3-1. To be
Jo-
fair
Jo-
on
Jo-
that one though, he's called his name and then he's waited ages and then we've had a chat.
no,
and then
Reedy,
the whole
Reedy
time
and
he's
Ellis.
thinking-
Me was just.
But
I was thinking McCurdy.
He was injured a lot.
Yeah.
do you want
Just
to
got
try and get the
lots of
bonus point to guess how many games you all played?
Well, all together.
No, just like
I
individually.
just told him.
Should we let Hoops guess that?
Yeah.
Right, 45 for Willow.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that.
That's good knowledge.
I
Yeah.
know that. Done some research.
Yeah.
Ellis is mad, isn't it? It's like 50 something, 53 or 4 or something. No, it's not how many.
No.
How many was it?
52.
Oh.
He's acting like I'm miles off. I said 53 and it's 52.
I'm not going to tell you, am I?
Come on, man.
Right. That's.
Yeah.
No point.
Yeah, I've
No,
done
but-
point.
And
Was it
obviously,
3-1?
really
3-1.
had the same amount as you. You're both on 45. All right.
Getting battered again.
Come back.
We'll come
Next
back.
question.
I've got to get them both right.
From the Port Vale playoff penalty shootout, can you give me the penalty takers in order? And how we do this is how we do this is like we did last time with the 11 aside. So you'll say the person, then you'll say the next one. The first person to obviously not get the next one.
Oh, okay, right. So Willow's put his name. He's going first.
Yeah.
So Willow guess one.
Yeah.
And then, if the next one's wrong,
Yeah.
I've got to guess what that next one was. And then if I get it wrong, it goes back to you. And we keep going until, and then it'll either be 3, 2.
So there were 8.
3, 2,
there were 8
1.
in total.
First one?
8 penalties.
Penny.
8.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Second one, Dion.
No.
Second one. Glads.
Yeah. I'll give you 2 lives.
Well, yeah, because it was. Well, it doesn't matter how many lives you got, does it? Because if I get it wrong, it goes back to him and he gets another point.
Sure.
Where were you then for the second one then? If you can't remember Glads.
Willow. Right, here's
You're in a headlock already, Buff.
That's someone trying to knee me in the face, mate. I was trying to stop them all from stealing everything out the dugout.
You running back to the changing room.
No, that was you.
No,
I
it
remember
wasn't.
you coming back out.
I'd one here, one there. In by the net.
So that's 2 points to Willow.
2 points to Willow. Now it's Dion.
No.
No,
How's it not?
it's McCurdy.
Yep.
But they changed the order, didn't they?
That's 3 to
From what we had practiced the day before.
that's 3 to Willow.
Fourth.
Who was fourth?
Come on, Hoops.
No,
Who was caught up in the moment?
Yeah, he was definitely in the
I
headlock.
was emotional. Who was fourth? Josh Davison.
No.
I have no idea, mate.
Reedy.
Yeah.
Slot.
You
Slot
were,
it.
you were in the game. It's different.
Yeah, fair.
It's different.
You were in a
That's
headlock.
4. Who was after Reedy?
Yeah, from Jalen Mitchell.
Who was after Reedy? Come on.
Who was after Reedy?
This is it. Wembley. Meant to be.
Oh, that's Josh Davison.
Yeah. So it's 4-1.
And then who went next? Oh, Dion.
Yep. 5-1.
Because Dion wasn't meant to be the fifth penalty, was he?
He's meant to be. He was. He was meant to be fifth.
And what
but he
was
was
he?
sixth.
Sixth, yeah.
So that's
And
5-1.
If he had taken it and scored like he did the day before,
We got 2 more.
we'd have been through.
Have you got 2 more?
We got 2 more.
Oh.
There
This
was
one
8.
I'm not sure.
We
I
got-
know
we
the
got-
last one.
We got 6. It's 5-1 to Willow in this. We got 6.
You took this one. You took the 7th.
That's tough. I see
Oh,
that looking at
yeah.
the wall behind. Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is Egbo?
Yeah.
Was it Egbo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't actually remember his pen.
I don't remember that at all.
I
And
guess
then-
I guess you only remember the bad ones.
yeah.
And then last
and,
was.
then obviously it was Ellis. So it's
Yeah.
fair to,
No. I'm saying you say it.
so is that.
So
Yes,
So you've just
uh,
given us the answer. Because
Well, you both just said.
No. I definitely get
Oh.
the point for that.
Yeah.
Surely.
So
But I knew that as well.
that whole.
You can't just get
so
a point for getting an egg bow. 1 out of 8.
That's 4-1 then.
I don't know. I was in a headlock. mate.
4-1.
That's at 4-1.
4-1, is that a
in
win?
total. We got 2 more questions.
Oh, decent.
Wow.
It's 4-1, so
It's 4-1.
we got 2 more questions.
Still doing better than Jonah.
How many points did we end up with last year?
Yeah, hoops.
Yeah,
77.
fair. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
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 And
that
the, and
4-2?
4-2.
Yes.
4-2. And the final question is another one of who the players played for. Obviously, was in the last
Nice.
2 years.
Did you just get a bit lazy with this?
You just worry about getting the questions.
Yeah.
You just worry about you just worry about getting the questions right. Right. So
Good lad.
first club.
Oh, he's a good one.
Started off at Reading.
Okay.
Another one.
Yeah. Salisbury. Basingstoke. Torquay.
Are they all loans?
Wimbledon. Torquay again. Salisbury again.
Are you alright?
Torquay.
Mate, how old is he?
Barnsley.
42.
Barnsley?
Yeah. Hull City. Rotherham.
Who?
Willow.
Who?
Willow. Rotherham. Fish of them.
Rotherham.
Rotherham and Fisherham.
Don Willow.
Rotherham
Oh, that's class. Who's from Rotherham?
and Fisherham.
Is he on? Oh, this is class.
Angus MacDonald.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, you knew.
Mate,
He was on here though, wasn't he? He was here for 20
Jonah,
minutes.
do it for me.
I can't do it, I lost.
5-2.
So 5-2. Well, you got more points.
I've
than I
got
did
more
last
points
week.
than both of us combined from the last 2 weeks. Last 2 times, so
So-
well played,
Heaps.
Willow. Willow wins 3-0 to the guests.
3-0 to
Pass
the
my
gap.
concussion test. Again. Third one.
Third one this season.
Third one, yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. But I think
Rotherham.
Rotherham.
Rotherham
we've had a
wins.
giggle. We've had a giggle. Have you enjoyed it, Willow?
Really enjoyed it.
Oh,
Always with
brilliant.
you two.
Brilliant.
My
I think
pleasure.
that wraps us up.
Yeah,
to be honest.
cheers for coming on, Willow.
Again,
Thanks for having me.
got a game coming up Saturday. Stockport at home. Massive game. You can still get tickets. Come and support the lads. Be loud. That's what we need, isn't it, Willow? We need
100%,
people to be
yeah.
behind us, to push us forward. Because if we win on Saturday, you never know. You know, stranger things have happened last season. Needed 4 wins to get in the playoffs, and we got all 4 wins. So it's still on. Let's just get lots of people in the ground.
Not over till it's over.
Exactly that. Other than that, follow us on all the socials: TikTok, Instagram. What else we got? Twitter. We now got Facebook as well, haven't we?
Have you actually?
So, yeah, there's now a Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you two didn't have that first.
No, I don't have Facebook.
We don't use
personally,
Facebook.
and he does use Facebook all the time. He says he does.
Anything else?
The podcast is obviously
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
if you're listening audio, we're on YouTube later.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can listen again in the car.
And when are
On
we?
the way.
When are we playing Rotherham?
Rotherham. I don't know. When are we playing Rotherham?
Rotherham.
When are we playing Rotherham?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Hopefully,
I can't believe I said
hopefully
that.
soon. Yeah.
I can. It's class. Brilliant. Right. Well,
Right.
cheers, Willow.
Cheers, guys.
Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Cheers.